begin tonight. The wonderful God and His wonderful church. Already we have been talking about the God of all wonders. The God of all wonders. What makes God's church wonderful? What makes the children of God wonderful? It is established that God is a wonderful God, but how about His church? How about what makes the church wonderful? More especially when we have people who say that, well, I don't want to go to church because no church is perfect. I'm just looking for that perfect church. When I find it, I will go to church. Let me tell you something. If we are Christians, we should ask ourselves whether it is possible to be a Christian without a church. Here is how somebody put it. He said, can a Christian be a Christian without being part of a church? And then he tried to answer himself. He said, yeah, it is possible. But this, he concludes, it is something like these. Let's take it one by one. A Christian who is without a church is like a student who would not go to school. It's like a student, therefore, who has no school. It's like a soldier who would not join an army. A Christian without a church is like a citizen who does not pay taxes or vote. A Christian without a church is like a salesman with no customers. A Christian without a church is an explorer with no base camp. A Christian without a church is like a seaman on a ship without a crew, but worse, a seaman with a boat but without a lake or without an ocean. A Christian without a church is an author without readers. A Christian without a church is one who has a tuba or a tuba player without an orchestra. A parent without a family. A football player without a team. A politician who is a hermit. A scientist who does not share his findings. A bee without a hive. A child, a son, a daughter without a family. Is it possible to be a Christian without a church? Or you are a Christian without a church because the church is not perfect? Well, listen to this. Somebody talks about the perfect church. He said, I think that I shall never see a church that is all it ought to be. A church whose members never stray beyond the straight and narrow way. A church that has no empty pews. Whose pastor never has the blues. A church whose deacons always dig. And none is proud and all are meek. Where gossips never peddle lies. Or make complaints or criticize. Where all are always sweet and kind. And all to others' faults are blind. Such perfect churches there may be, but none of them are known to me. But still, I am working on it so that I will find this perfect church. But I know that the day I find this perfect church, it will cease to be a perfect church because I am not. What makes the church wonderful? What makes the church beautiful? What makes the church glorious? This is what we would like to look at today. We'll look at what is the church, we'll look at why the church, and we'll look at what makes it wonderful. Are you ready? Come on, church, are you ready? Put your hands together tonight and let's look at this